We're fixing the loop.
Give him more time.
Hey, guys, welcome back. The conclusion of Loki Season 2, Episode 4 left the MCU on a major cliffhanger. Of course, this has given rise to some very intriguing hypotheses regarding the future of the Time Variance Authority and the eponymous God of Mischief. There are a number of distinct story paths that may be followed in the wake of the upcoming episodes of Loki Season 2, given the literally explosive finale. A He Who Remains clone named Victor Timely, Jonathan Majors, is hired by the TVA in Loki Season 2, Episode 4. A strategy was in place to enlarge the temporal loom of the TVA, which required his aura signature to access and was in risk of becoming overloaded with branch timelines due to the sheer number of new branches in the rapidly growing Marvel multiverse. But at the end of Loki Season 2, Episode 4, the TVA heroes arrived too late and the temporal loom collapsed, presumably destroying everything. In light of such, the following 6 speculations speculate as to what could happen in Loki Season 2. Each and every TVA agent was returned to their first branch. Will Mobius timeline finally become visible? Loki on jet skis in the trailer for Loki Season 2. Given the destruction of the temporal loom and the apparent disappearance of the TVA, it is plausible that all individuals were returned to their initial branch realities within the multiverse. He Who Remains had, until recently, kept the fact that the TVA's operatives are themselves variations a secret. It was recently made public that he erased their memories on a regular basis to prevent them from questioning their role in his sacred timeline. The teasers for Loki Season 2 most likely lend credence to this notion. In one scene, Loki is standing in front of a jet ski dealership while suffering from his time-slipping condition once again. Given Agent Mobius's, Owen Wilson, passion for jet skis, it makes sense that he works here, and in later episodes of Loki Season 2, Loki will likely visit his branch timeline. Loki and Sylvie made it through magic. Was the explosion safe for the gods? In Loki Season 2, Sylvie and Loki use magic. In Loki Season 2, Episode 4, just prior to the temporal loom's detonation, OB restarted the TVA's computers to remove Miss Minutes, who had been blocking them from the network. But this also meant that the TVA's protections against magic use inside its boundaries were gone. Therefore, it's likely that before the explosion reached them, Loki and Sylvie were able to use their magical skills to protect themselves and their comrades. Will Victor Timely become the new variant, or will he be the one left? Or perhaps even worse, Victor Timely and He Who Remains in the MCU? Given that Loki had previously volunteered to put on a suit and venture outdoors into the harmful temporal radiation, Victor Timely's willingness to be the one to mend temporal loom with the throughput multiplier seemed a bit odd. Therefore, it's reasonable to speculate as to whether Timely was aware of information that the others were not. There have also been worries that he'll end up like He Who Remains, or worse than the bashful inventor he's come across as. Everyone was cut off and sent into oblivion. Is time running out for everyone? Tom Hiddleston in the first season of Loki as Loki in The Void. Producer Kevin Wright of Loki Season 2 has hinted that once the temporal loom exploded, reality is now fully gone. Additionally, he has verified that the TVA agent's ability to prune variants using their time sticks is derived from the same temporal energy as the explosion. This particular tidbit about the possible futures of the entire ensemble of Loki Season 2 after such a dramatic cliffhanger is very intriguing. It's plausible that everyone was sent to the void at the end of time, as seen in both Loki Seasons 1 and 2. If the temporal loom's explosion was effectively one enormous simultaneous pruning, it also makes sense that a much more unpredictable result will arise from the collapse and destruction of the TVA as a whole. After all, the teases have undoubtedly suggested that Loki will resume time-slipping following the cliffhanger in Loki Season 2, Episode 4. First observed in Ant-Man 3, the temporal loom was in a probability storm. In Loki Season 2, Episode 4, Victor Timely passes away. In Loki Season 2, Episode 4, Victor Timely was torn apart by the time radiation the instant he went outdoors to attempt to restore the time loom. Similarly, it appeared as though he disintegrated like spaghetti prior to being entirely destroyed. This is comparable to what occurred in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania when Ant-Man became caught in a probability storm. As Scott Lang attempted to downsize and fix Kang's multiversal engine core, he saw numerous parallel versions of himself, each representing a possible decision and following chain of events. And so, too, was one of these special variants of Ant-Man torn to pieces like spaghetti. It's possible that a probability storm was started by the overloading temporal loom before it exploded. This could imply that in the last 2 episodes, Loki will have to choose between a number of possible scenarios for the TVA's fate simultaneously. simultaneously. Timely's multiversal engine core prototype. Does the TVA have any chance of survival? Victor Obi and on time. Using a prototype device before being banished to the quantum realm by the Council of Kangs, Kong the Conqueror was able to explore the multiverse and cross timelines thanks to his multiversal engine core, as seen in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Similarly, it has been proposed that an early iteration of this same engine core was Victor Timely's prototype device, which was added to Obi's throughout Multiplier. Therefore, it's possible that the core has produced an unanticipated result that wasn't anticipated, explaining both Timely's startlingly quick vaporization and the TVA's potential for survival in the wake of the enormous temporal energy explosion. Thanks for watching.